Hey, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this presentation. My name is Andreas Prins. I'm working for Digital.ai, and today I actually want to guide you through a story that goes beyond the first steps in the digital transformation. With so much automation at our fingertips, how do we scale beyond the first week, beyond the first month, and beyond the first year? And that is where we want to talk about today. Because we all know that setting the first steps in the journey is not so difficult. But truly understanding where you want to go in the long term, while everyone is already a few years in the digital transformation, I want to help you out with a lot of real life examples and instruments that you can use tomorrow to move forward. So, how do we design for scale? And ultimately, we want to end up with 4 tips that get you started that you can use and apply beyond your first year. Because in the first year, you will face difficulties and particular struggles, but your journey needs to continue also after this. But before we go into the journey, I do want to share some really, really nice news. So today we're launching the 4th version of the periodic table. And at this point in time, I can imagine you're all familiar with this periodic table. But we're really excited to launch a new version with new segments, with new tools. And yeah, also some tools left the periodic table because there's so much going on in the space of automation. New areas of automation occur. In particular, in the cloud and in the container space, we see rapid development. But also in the other segments, there are new tools coming up. So if you want to have a copy of this, please go to our booth and use it, get a download of it, and start using it. And and that's what we promise, as soon as there's a physical conference again, you will absolutely get a real copy of it that you can use. So with all the automation out there, and all of us being familiar at least with a few of them, the question sometimes coming to my mind is, how do I plan in a really, really structured way the agile journey? And that is where I want to talk about in the first place. With so much automation out there, how do you plan and how do you know where you need to go? And what I want to do is guide you through 3 instruments that you can start using tomorrow when you come together digitally or physically. And the purpose here is really to start tracking and measuring what matters to your organization. So the first one that I want to share with you is an Explorer map. And I've used it myself, so I'm talking here from real experience. It has nothing to do yet with CI/CD or with any automation capabilities. But the Explorer map is really a powerful instrument to understand where you want to go in the longer term. What is your goal? What is it that you want to achieve? And then start articulating smaller sub goals derived from it. And ultimately, to achieve a goal, you need to articulate actions. What is it that I want to do to achieve my next goal? And then you start planning actions again to go towards your next goal and ultimately achieving your big goal. And what I've learned from my own experience is that we can talk about the digital transformation and that we can start doing a lot of improvements. But if it's not clearly headed into one direction, you will notice that you as a team, management team, leadership team, or a DevOps team are a little clueless. You don't know exactly what you want to achieve. Coming together as a team, again, development team, management team, or leadership team for a day or two, really thinking through what is it that I want to achieve, putting it on the wall, the many, many goals, and then starting to plan a journey of steps towards a goal is a really powerful instrument to start understanding each other. And I've learned from my own experience, having the ability or the need to guide a team of 100, 200, or 300 engineers, operation development engineers into that digital journey. It is important for you as a management team that you come together and that you have the conversation about what is it that I do want to achieve. And by doing so, you will come up with drawings that you can put on the wall a little later in time. And this is helpful because now all of a sudden, all of you will have a common understanding of what it is that you want to achieve. And I can recommend to start looking into it, and the source is available. The source materials are available for you to use. Then the second instrument I want to share, and it's also based on my own experience, is what is called the Obeya room, or the visual room, or the visual room where all the data is coming together. And in this Obeya room, you as a team, a management team, a leadership team, or a DevOps team, or just a business line team, can come together on a daily and a weekly basis to understand where you are and take actions and mitigations to go towards your goal. And an Obeya is an instrument that is originating in the lean practices. And what you will see in this Obeya is at the top left, the long-term plan. You can use Explorer maps, as I've just discussed, to manage the long-term plan. And then all the actions that you need to take on a daily basis, you put them on the week board. And if you're not a development team, you will notice that you will see a lot of managerial type of tasks on this board. And this is important, I believe, to be there at a daily basis. Because if you believe that the transformation of all your teams only happen through continuous effort, you as a management team or a leadership team need to be out there to manage impediments, to solve problems, and to take actions to help your teams going forward. And the next, at the right at the top, are the impediments. What are the blockers? And it is not just budgeting or risk. This can also be in teams, if a bad team spirit or atmosphere that you need to solve. Or it can be in the application architecture, right? Because you can have the desire to innovate, but if there are impediments from a technical perspective, that can hold you back. So the Obeya room is a really powerful instrument to manage day-to-day activities in alignment with the long-term plan. And then at the bottom, you will see a lot of charts and measurements coming in. So you need to discover what are the metrics that matter to your organization that truly measure progress